Hi, I'd like to share a concept with you that demonstrates one of the key beliefs in Think Like a CEO app, and that's that everything that you present to your customer should be in a method that is clear, concise, compelling, C-level, and Crayon. So we're going to talk about one example here. It's going to be supply chain. So if you sell anything that has to do with the operations of a business or organization, I'm going to demonstrate how we can state the problem and the value in a way that's clear, concise, compelling, C-level, and Crayon, and get better results. And I can tell you personally, this is how I've sold literally hundreds of millions of dollars of software throughout my life doing this. So let's first pull up Think Like a CEO app, and we're going to find, okay, I'm not nuts about that color. I think that was the Cuba one. So the first thing I want to do is I want to switch theme. And today I feel a little bit like cold rolled steel. So let's take a look at cold rolled steel. All right. So we're looking at 3M here. If we press the cache button up here, I want to draw your attention to the very top where we're looking at inventory. And let's just look right now at inventory for MMM or 3M. Let's not worry about what the graphs say or anything. We see here that inventory turns are 3.967. Okay, 3.967. So whenever you talk about inventory to your customer, what you want to talk about is not in terms, you want to put it in relation to days. It's much easier for them to understand the concept of days. It's going to be much easier for you to put a value prop around it. So if we take 365 days in a year, at least the last calendar I looked at, I think that's what it was, and we divide by 3.967, we have 92 days of inventory, right? And in fact, if we look at our Think Like a CEO app, what do we see down there? 92 days of inventory. So let's say that we can take the inventory based on our apps to the level that their competitor GE is at. You see that 87 right next to that? That's 5 days. So Mr. Customer, we can reduce using our applications based on, however you're selling it, the value, your inventory by an average of 5 days. Now, we can also say that we can do this by turns. And if we go back to our calculator here, and we say 92 days, we're going to reduce it by 5. That gives us 87. How many turns is that? Well, let's see. Again, 365 days in a year divided by the 87 days gives us 4.195 inventory turns. So let me ask you, if you're the executive that I'm selling to, what is easier to understand? Mr. Executive, I think that with our tools, we can take your inventory turns from 3.967 to 4.195 based on these functionality points that we have. And don't get caught up on the numbers 3.967 or 4.195. The same concept goes whether your inventory turns are 3.5 and you can take them to 4.5 or whatever the case is. And it's easier to talk in days. So in our example here, we're saying that we can drop your inventory 5 days from 92 days to 87 days. We can also quantify that by looking at the daily value, multiplying that 43.85 million times 5, which gives the amount of capital that they will save, 200 and some odd thousand or 200 and some odd million, right? But the key point is we're able to say this in a clear, concise, compelling C-level and Crayon message. So from the executive end, maybe he can start visualizing how they can save those 5 days of inventory. Maybe their order process is a little bit messed up since they implemented a new system and it's taking a little bit longer once they get the order from the headquarters onto their plant floor until they get it sequenced and put into processing. Maybe he says, okay, I think I can take a couple of days out of there. And in fact, the logistics end is all kind of messed up, and there's a couple, 3 days in logistics. So yes, I see how you can take those 5 days of inventory. We've already agreed that the value proposition is the 220 some odd million. That's half the battle. Now we have the customer nodding their head, and they're seeing how we can deliver value for them in a clear, concise, compelling C-level, and most importantly, the most important, Crayon messaging. Oh, by the way, if we were talking about my early example that I just threw out, the 3 to 4.5 in inventory, okay, you can say, Mr. Customer, we can take you from 3.5 inventory turns, from 3 inventory turns to 4.5 inventory turns. Wouldn't it be easier to say that right now they have 122 days of inventory and that you can take them down to 81 days of inventory? You can save them 41 days of inventory. It's just easier. I can save you 41 days of inventory, and then you can, again, multiply by whatever daily value of inventory is and get that value prop. It's easier. It's more compelling. It's easier for them, even if they understand it, to take that message up through the organization and sell it. Now, the good news is in Think Like a CEO app, you're going to have all of this laid out right in front of you. And if you get a little comfortable with looking at it or even showing it to the customer, I mean, in this example, I would say, Mr. Customer, you have a 104-day cash conversion cycle. If you could crash that down to 91 days, here's what it would be. If you could take it down to where your next nearest competitor is, 79 days, it would be over $1 billion in savings. So you can take and swipe. You can utilize this as a tool to collaborate with the customer and make sure that they understand the importance of your value prop. So again, we want to keep it Crayon level for the customer, make it compelling so that it's easy for them to understand and easy for them to take it up the chain of their management. Hope you enjoy that. I hope you get it. Listen to it again